Synthe has been rank 1 for a few days now with Warden Charge Rocket Balloon, but the way he does the army is completely unique and his spell comp is wild. Synthe has been rank 1 for a few days now, and whilst that is very impressive, what is more impressive to me is the way he's using this army. So we've all seen Warden Charge Rocket Balloon a few times now, it's been on the channel a lot. But the way he uses it today, I implore you to take some notes, because look at this, right? Rather than use a rage spell for his warden, he's using a skeleton spell here, and I now implore you to look at his spell comp, because look at this. He only has one rage spell. He's got 2 freeze, 2 skeletons, and 5 invis spells. He's not going to be raging his warden much today. In fact, if his warden's ever in trouble, he just uses the invis spell, and the reason this is really strong is because, you know, when you're using a rage spell on your warden and your healers, the rage gem is useless at that point because it kind of gets overwritten. As we see Synthe use all these invis and bam, takes down the core. That's another benefit of not bringing so many rage spells and bringing more invis spells. You can fireball from literally anywhere on the base. I mean, look at how much of the core of the base is gone, and Synthe is nowhere near the core of the base himself. As I was saying, when the rage spell is used on the rage gem's ineffective during that time. So you're not really maximizing the rage gem, so the less rage spells you bring, the better. Now obviously it's easier to warden charge with rage spells because you can kind of put one down and not look at your warden for a bit and know he's safe. But this is definitely probably the highest skilled and the best way to do the army. So King ability goes off, King and Queen coming in together. He's going to be using super minions out of his CC all day, and I kind of like the value he gets with the super minions. Anyways, we're back to the Warden here because he's got to focus on that, using another skeleton spell to tank, and then invis spell because I think the monolith got onto his Warden for a second there. The King has got into the core of the base, and I believe, yep, the Warden is going to switch. Now, he does do this once or twice today. I can't tell if it's always deliberate, combining all the heroes, but I mean, look at the value he's gotten. Preposterous. The base is completely gone, and you're gonna see a common theme throughout today's video. He's very rarely going to use the Royal Champion, and in fact, I think in all the replays you see today, he's gonna use his Royal Champion once. Synthe is not only crushing bases, he's styling on them, and he's rank 1, so you know he's running into pretty heavy, if not near maxed out bases, but it doesn't matter if you're Synthe. 3 stars as easily as that, and I'll just quickly show you what he's bringing the CC. 4 super minions, 1 regular loon, and 1 regular minion. Now Synthe is going to come on a slightly more compact base. Now I want to point out these 2 balloons at the start. Really important just to test, not only for seeking air mines or red bombs, but a lot of the time, in case you forgot, at the end of Town Hall 16, sorry, there was lots of Tesla farms on the outside of bases to try and pop people's warden ability early. So you just want to check for that, because the fireball is definitely super strong at Town Hall 17 as well, and I would get ready for Tesla farms to start being on the outside of the base again. Yet again, we're not going to see him use the rage spell with the warden charge here. In fact, the one rage spell in this army here is going to be used on the Queen, because the Queen does get the full value of the rage spell, particularly when you've got the healers and the clones from the ability that are really strong. Now unfortunately slightly late on the skeleton spell there, so he's gonna have to invest in invis, but that's okay. He's got another 3 invis spells with the army anyway. Now you can see the fire spitter is going to be a bit of a pain here, but yet again, you've got so many invis spells. As soon as Synthe realizes this, he's going to put the invis spell down. Beautifully done. Now let's have a look at this hero push, because look, there was no real flame flinger value on this base. It's really hard to get good flame flinger value at Town Hall 17 with all the defenses and all of the heroes now. But look, just use a siege barracks to funnel your king and queen into the center of the base, and by doing that, you're just going to get really good value. The super minions come out of the CC, and they're going to help set an even stronger funnel. We use the rage spell with the queen, because if the queen goes in and clears out the core of the base, the rocket balloons are always going to be fantastic at clearing the outside of the base. So if your warden's not going to get the core, and the warden rarely gets the entire core of the base, finishing off the core with your king and queen is perfect. And yet again, we've got so many invis spells that the mirror clone's always going to get value, because the invis pairs perfectly with the clone puppet and also the healer puppet, I guess. Now, unfortunately, rocket balloons are not very good at dealing with defensive heroes, so you're going to see the minion prince here is going to be a little bit of a nuisance. But it doesn't matter. We're swagging the royal champion. We, in fact, could have used a poison spell if we were really worried about the minion prince, but we're not worried at all. The super minion's going to finish off this base. I mean, too easy, right? What about a base with an isolated town hall? Because this is kind of what I found at Town Hall 16 was the toughest base style with this army, because it was tough to get anything to go for the Town Hall other than the Royal Champion. Well, let's see how Synthe deals with that. Also, not a lot of value around the CC here in terms of Fireball, but it's enough value with the Monolith and the Minion Prince there. So we've got the Warden Charge coming in on the bottom side of the base here. The Jelly, really nice. Now, I still prefer the Unicorn on the Warden, or even the Owl if you're worried about air traps, than the Jelly. I think the Jelly gets you into a lot of trouble, but it does allow you to fireball earlier, and if time is a problem for you with this army, then yeah, definitely think about coming in with the Jelly. Nice double invis, fireball in. I don't even think he needed to invis this Arch Tower, but better to be safe than sorry, particularly when you bring 5 invis spells with the army. I mean, there is no need to be cautious. No, sorry, there is a need to be cautious. There's no need to take unnecessary risks when you've got 5 invis spells. So we got the Warden doing a great job, and we're going to start the King and the RC. The King and the Queen nice and early, and yet again, no Flame Flinger value on this base. I mean, look at it. There's 4 ground bows on the corner of the base. So let's just funnel our heroes into the core. The Siege Barracks is still really strong at Town Hall 17. The Warden doing a great job. You can see the Fire Spitter. It can be strong, but it's just some of the time, if it's not hitting the healers, then this attack strategy is completely fine. Nice King ability there, weakening all the defenses. You can see the King ability, I do love it, but a lot of the time it can push your troops out of the base. You can see the Queen here is pushed further from the center of the base because the spiky ball took down all the buildings in the center. So Synthe sends a few rocket balloons. You saw those rocket balloons that have just died now. They were crucial because they took down the outside buildings that would have pulled the Queen outside the base. Now she stays inside the base, and she actually has the potential to go for the Town Hall here. And I think that's what Synthe was expecting, but have a look at this here. The Queen's going to beat the wall. One of the mirror clones is smart enough, but the actual Queen herself is not smart enough. If the Queen went for the Town Hall here, I think Synthe would have swagged the Royal Champion, but he will have to come in with the Royal Champion this attack just to finish off the Town Hall. Really easy though, right? I do say that. It isn't actually easy at all, but Synthe's making it look incredibly easy here. Just pick a fireball location, Warden Charge as you like, King and Queen together, funnel them with the Siege Barracks if necessary, and the rest just goes down. Town Hall 17, yeah, maybe it's a little harder than Town Hall 16, but the #1 army from Town Hall 16 still reigns supreme. Now, this base is similar to the one we saw at the start of the video, but I really wanted to show you this replay for a couple of reasons. So one, gonna deal with the Royal Champion here. She's on the outside of the base, and by dealing with her, we're actually gonna set up a nice Flame Flinger here. Yet again, we don't need to get crazy value with the Flame Flinger. Even just this is enough. That's really good value. And also, you know, we dealt with the Royal Champion for free. So you're going to see the Skeleton spell come down in a second here to tank for the Warden. But you're also going to see that the Single Inferno does eventually lock onto the Warden here. So whilst I do, yeah, look at that, 2 Skeleton spells, and still that isn't enough to stop. So that's why I do like the approach Synthe is doing. But some of the time it's just easier to use a Rage and a Freeze spell. At least that's what I find, at least. And that's what I'm using because I'm also doing this army. I just use a Rage and a Freeze spell. Slightly more simple. But if you want to go for the more pro approach, then Synthe has got this. And now you've got this video that you can watch as well to learn. So the Warden Charge is coming in. Jelly has finished. And look at this Fireball. That was borderline ridiculous. So crazy. And I love the fact that he accidentally left the scatter here visible, but he didn't want to hit the scatter. He wanted to hit the multi-archer tower here so that he could get the CC down, because by getting the CC down, look at the value he's going to allow his king and queen to get here. So the baby dragon sets a crucial funnel. The queen's now going to stay inside the wall. The king just opened up this corner. So what does that mean? The queen's going to get insane value here. King's on the outside of the base, Warden's on the top side chilling, and because of the work the Flame Flinger put in, the Warden's going to be funneled directly towards the Town Hall, which means the healers won't get sniped. As you can see, Town Hall's just going for the Warden there. We pop the Queen ability here, we get the healers, and also the clone puppets, and now we're going to rage them all up, getting the full effect of the rage here. Insane that the rage is not on the healers, which is a little bit sad for them. Still not on the healers, oh well, they'll get it at some point. And now it's just this minion prince being a nuisance on the back end, but we can use the poison spell for it because we fireballed the CC and just gonna completely overwhelm the base again. And yet again, not using the Royal Champion with this, just not required at all. Synthe is insane. I hope you guys liked his attacks today. You can definitely see why he's rank 1, because how are you meant to stop this army when he has so many invis spells? Borderline ridiculous. If you'd like to see more attacks from Synthe later in the month, let us know and we can definitely organize to have this again, because the way he's doing this army is beautiful to watch. GG Synthe, I hope you have a really strong season. Come on, 3-star. Damn, I tried to line that up perfectly for the end of the video, but it just didn't work, did it?